Okay, now I got the board fitted up, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a piece like that, and we're going to put that on there just so it comes out a little bit. Well, what I could have done is brought that out like that, but I might be hanging over a little bit too much. I think I'll just put a piece on there like that, and we'll call it good. Something a little different on this. What I did is I got me a longer piece and I run the grain this way because I think it just looks better. And what I did is I kept my pattern from the cardboard and I cut out the back, and I got the back coming out where I want it, so this is good. And then I just laid out for my posts, and I went ahead and I notched that out, and I laid this right in there. And what I'll do is I'm going to router all these edges, and I got to figure out how far I want this to come out, and I'm going to cut some of this off. It'll be, I don't know, maybe an inch and a half, maybe I'll cut off of that. It just all depends on what I want to do. And then I'll go ahead and router everything up, but I think that's what we're going to do, is just cope it out for that post and let it come out another inch and a half or so, and we're going to call that good. I mean, it really makes it look a lot better with the grain running out instead of sideways. All the cuts made, and I got this edge routered, and I'll show you what I used on that. I'm not sure the size of the bit, but this is just, you can pick these up anywhere. You can put any type of edge you want on that just by changing this bit. So I went ahead and I routed all the way around this whole thing. And now I'm going to take this hand vibrating sander with 60 grit, then 100 grit, and 220 if I feel like it, but probably not. And I'm just going to go around and smooth all the edges off, and then we're going to fasten the chair, or the seat, to the chair. So this is where we're at right now. Another thing that I was going to show you is this is pocket hole joinery. I had actually bought these pieces laminated together at Home Depot for 20 bucks. You get a 2x4 sheet, but sometimes they're split. And since I have a joiner and the tools, the pocket hole joinery, I just run my my board down my table saw right where the split is, and I re-glue it. You see, this one happened to be done in 4 spots. It was starting to break apart, but they didn't have any more, so I took them anyway and I repaired them. But that's what you can do when you got the tools. And now I got to sand this down where I glued it up. So usually when you buy this like this, it saves you time, but I didn't realize that this was in this bad a shape, or I wouldn't have took this particular piece, but at least I can fix it. Okay, here's our piece on the chair. You can see how all the edges are rounded, and it looks good. And the next thing we're going to do is flip this chair over and put some nails in selected places where nobody's going to see them. And then we'll fasten this to the bottom of these wooden slats here. So that looks pretty nice. Raining right now. Okay, we've got our chair up on the table. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these twisted nails, real small, with a finished head on it, and I'm just going to place it in every joint. But I'm going to put it in a place that nobody will notice it that much. So like you got your tenon going in this way, they'll never see this, but I know that at least I've got a safety in there in case that glue fails, which I know it won't, but this is just something that's going to make me sleep better. We'll bring that in like that, and I'm going to take, just something to countersink it. we're going to bring that all the way in. And I'll do each joint like that, here and here, all the way through. And then we're going to set our seat on here and fasten it. One more thing I'd like to show you. This glue will bubble out of there, and I take a round file and I just go around the joints like that, and all it does, it just kind of knocks the high spots off and gives it a finished look. Not really sure what that's going to look like once we put the stain on it, but first time I ever used it. But at least you can make it look a little more finished. We're going to put our armrests in now, and these armrests come right off of there. And this is just, this peg's about 1.25 inches, and I come in 4 inches here, and I put 1.25 inch hole with a 1-inch mortise bit on the drill press. And then I make this cope here, and that fits right on there like that. And this sets right on here. I just push down on it, and what we're going to do is pilot a little hole right here, and we're going to put a lag bolt or maybe a screw in there. And I do this with a router, and we're going to do both them chairs like that, but I'll swing over to the router table and zoom in on that bit. Yeah, about right there. That's a 1/2 inch router bit that comes in really handy. You can shape wood with that, so that's what we're doing. We're going to go ahead and do all the arms on these chairs here. I've got 2 of them laid out. We're going to do this one, and then I got another one right here that we're going to do. And then of course we'll put our backs in, which will look like that far small chair. So I'll go ahead and finish these up. And then I'll put the back design in the back of the chair, and we'll get a shot of that. We're just going to fasten these with wood screws. Okay, we've got one chair over here that's got a pattern in it that's finished. And I'll just zoom in on this a little bit and show you the pattern. This is what my customer wanted, so we're going to swing over here, and I can give you an idea of what we're doing. There's a chair without the pattern, and I've got some of this stock laying over there on the floor, and what I do is I measure this and I find center, 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 and then I cut my pieces with angles on them. Each one's going to be individually different, and I just keep cutting them and slicing until I get something that fits and looks rather well. It's got to look good from this way and this way. Plus, when you sit, it's got to be comfortable. I mean, this really ain't that big of a deal, but I've got a grinder on the floor here. So I'm going to grind this a little bit, and I'll grind out the middle. Well, that's it for today on the DVD. Right at the end of the DVD, we was putting the pattern in, and I'll have another shot of the complete pattern as soon as I get done talking here. But I appreciate you purchasing the DVD. I hope you come by and see us. We're at rusticmade.com. And my email is charles@rusticmade.com. My next project will probably be a DVD on 6-drawer dressers. These are really nice and they look great. It's got a solid 1 3/4 inch pine top on it, and it's just easy to make. You can sell these for $450, $500, and you might have $70 in them, so that's pretty good profit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope to hear from you. Thank you.